This video almost didn't happen. I've been really anxious about purging my craft room on video. Oh, this bottom drawer is scary. I've never purged before, and you get to come with me. First time ever in 6 years. If you've got any inkling of desire to purge your stash, even just a bit, I'm here to tell you, you can totally do this. I'm going to share 5 tips that make purging your craft supplies as painless as possible. Hey, it's Carrie at Ink Hill Revival, and I'm all about helping you see what you and your stash can do. We love our crafty stashes, right? When I'd hear about someone purging and destashing, I'd always think, what? That's crazy. I was in this total state of supply scarcity. Being new to card making, I never felt like I had enough supplies or that I'd ever have enough with my really tiny budget. But I've been working on that scarcity mindset for a while now, and add in 6 years of collecting card making supplies and then moving in 2 weeks, it's my time to be the one purging and destashing. What about you? Quick heads up, I'm going to be taking the next several weeks off from posting videos while we get moved and settled, but I'll keep you posted on the YouTube community tab. Let's get into the 5 tips, plus I've got 2 surprising benefits of purging right at the end, so stay tuned. Get clear on why you want to purge before you even start. Then when things get a bit tricky, you've got that reason you can fall back on. Sometimes this is hard, but I'm just keeping in mind my end goal that I want to go through this and really like using what's in here. That is my reason, and that is my motivation all purge long. I'm not busting at the seams when it comes to storage. I just want to love all the supplies I own and store and care for and use. I don't want to deal with and keep them just because I spent money on them or think there's some sliver of a chance I might need it in the future. We well know that usually doesn't come up, and in the rare chance it does, I've got faith in myself that I can work it out. That is abundant thinking. A little addendum to this first point is knowing what you'll do with your purge supplies. When the purging gets hard, remembering where they're headed is a huge help. Do you have some friends or family who would be super excited to get these? Will you sell them on Facebook in a destash group and then earn some money to get supplies you do love? Will you be donating to a teacher? I've got a niece who's just getting into card making that I'm so happy to pass my supplies on to. Pick a purging method you like. There is a lot out there, so find one that jives with you. Just for example, there's the container method, where you decide, I'm only going to keep what fits in these 2 baskets. There's also count, like I'll only keep so many sets of each genre. I decided to go with a method where I'm actually going through one by one and holding and looking at each supply. I care so much about my supplies that I didn't want to use a blanket decision like I only want 10 birthday stamp sets. I wanted to actually go through each of them, and if I choose to keep more than 10, that's okay. I want to keep everything that is meaningful to me or that I will use. Use a maybe box. Does that feel like a cop-out? No, it's just a cushion, keeping this experience as painless as possible. Some are so easy. I use this one, I know I use it. Others are questionable. I need a maybe box. Ooh, this is hard. I tore this stamp the first time I used it, and I know I can still stick it on an acrylic block. But will I? No, I'll have to think about that. That's a maybe. There's like 1 stamp I use out of this set. I'm gonna have to put that in the maybe. I'm not sure. Not sure if it's worth it. The maybe box also makes the purging go so much faster. You don't get held up forever on a single item. Instead, you keep your momentum going. I love when I come across the really easy ones. It's just an obvious, I never use that. I don't like using that. This is one I've always loved. Easy. These unicorns, yes. So I'm surprised how well this has actually gone so far, although I haven't gone through my maybe box yet. But the maybe box wasn't too bad at all. You build up purging confidence as you breeze through all those quick yeses and nos, and the maybes are just easier now. Purging doesn't have to be all or nothing. Just because you pick a certain purging method doesn't mean you need to stick wholeheartedly to it. Like, let's say you wanted to pare down to 10 birthday stamp sets only, but you're loving 12. Keep the 12. Or what about those classic purging questions to ask yourself, like, would I buy this item again? Or do I see myself using it within the next so many months? What if the answer is, probably no, but you still feel a draw to this set? Keep it. I was much harsher on myself in the rest of my house, but this, I really am being kind to myself here. And I would encourage, if you are a little nervous about purging, but you have that desire, it doesn't have to be this all or nothing thing that I will absolutely get rid of anything that I'm not going to use or anything that I don't just love and sparks that joy. There is a perfectly happy medium where you can keep some of the things that maybe aren't so extremely a yes and just hold yourself accountable. Let's talk about that accountability. I run across stamp sets that I haven't used. Well, actually I did use this one. Never mind. I was going to say run across stamp sets that I haven't used in a long time, but I do see myself potentially using in the future. These are going to get a sticky note so I can track and see if I do use it within this year. These sticky notes are going to come in handy in a lot of ways. I can tally times I use a supply or even jot down design ideas. But stark empty sticky notes, well, in the future, those are going to be my cue that maybe I do want to pass this one on. Some of these I'm surprised I haven't been using. I look at it and I'm like, oh, that's so fun. I remember why I bought that. Okay, sticky note. Use it, Carrie, but not in a guilt-inducing way. Because if I don't want to use it, there's always the no box. Sticky notes on the questionable supplies and the ones I just forgot about. There's two surprising benefits of purging. The first is developing a bit of a purging addiction. Whoa, look how empty this is getting. That's crazy. When you get a taste of letting go of things you never really liked, it feels good. It feels good to free up some space. It feels good to only have and be caring for things you really love. And you kind of want to purge again and keep narrowing it down more and more till you're just left with the things that really do bring you joy. It's like an onion. You only peel back the outermost layer on your first go, especially if you purge gently like I did. But you just might find yourself happily coming back to purge the second layer. I know I will. I already did a twice over on my whole house last month, and the results have been amazing. And I would totally purge it again if things weren't half boxed up. The second bonus of purging is becoming so much more purposeful in your buying. When the default isn't always keep everything you buy, no matter what, you get more particular about hitting that purchase button or adding something to your cart. Is this worth my money? Will I love it? Will I want to keep it? But what about those times you did think a purchase through and the supply still falls totally flat for you? Was that purchase a complete waste? Let me tell you about it here. I'll see you there.